So, is Dad a good cook?
Good curry, and it's really good. He can cook good curry. He can cook spaghetti bolognese, which is pretty good. Boiled eggs.
So, is there anything that Dad isn't good at cooking?
Banana pancakes on Mother's Day. They were disgusting. Yeah.
Jenny and I met when I think I was 12, 11 or 12.
I think that was about year 9, and I saw him again and thought he was cute and all the rest. He took my name on the train and never called.
It's all a bit sort of corny, but and I remember, I saw her and that's it. I was smitten. That was it. I was done.
I think he used to bring me flowers on a Friday, usually some roses, whatever, and that stopped after we got married. As those things sometimes do, they shouldn't.
How did you ask Jen to marry you?
Oh, that's a terribly unromantic story.
It was so unromantic.
We were just walking through up Macquarie Street one day.
And then we stopped on the way back and he goes, let's just sit on seats for a minute at Martin Place. And I was like, what?
On a little bench just outside the top of Martin Place there.
And he just sat down and said, would you marry me?
And I was pretty impressed myself because I surprised her.
I laughed. I didn't believe him because it was like, really? Here?
She didn't see it coming. She didn't know it was going to happen then.
He told me he was serious, so yes, I said yes. And then he went to the little flower vendor there in Martin Place and bought me a bunch of flowers.
Like most couples, you don't assume that you're going to have problems with having kids. And for many years early in your married life, you're not seeking to do that either. You're trying to get established and hadn't given it much thought, but then we decided we would. And then that sort of began just for years, for absolute years. It was all up, I think around about 14 years.
I think in the end, not from the one person, but it ended up, I think we would have done about 10 cycles.
And over that period of time, you go through some incredibly difficult periods, both in your relationship, in your faith.
I sort of gave up at one point. I can't even remember how old I was, but it was taking a while and then it was drawing on and I'm thinking this is a bit strange. And I think about 26 I ended up having some investigative surgery and found out that I had really bad endometriosis and that was going to make it difficult for me.
I desperately wanted to be a parent also, but I didn't want it to destroy our lives as well together. And at some point you sort of have to try and imagine life without having kids, and that was a very painful thing to do.
And I got a pregnancy test and went home and did it, and I could not believe it. I saw the results. I was in disbelief. I went to Scott and I said, so, and he's going, what does that mean? And I'm like, he goes, you're pregnant? And I'm like, yes, apparently.
I referred to Abby in my maiden speech in the Parliament as our miracle girl. And I always think of Lily as just the blessing, having your cup overflowing. I'm still blown away. And when Lily came along, I remember just laughing. That's how special it was.
What are Scott's worst habits?
Well, you don't have time.
Being put on the spot.
There's none.
No, there's
none.
plenty. There's plenty.
If Jen was a superhero, who would she be?
Jen would be, I don't know what her name is, but in The Incredibles, the mum in The Incredibles, and her arms can just go everywhere and do everything and do all this crazy stuff.
I like that mum. She's great.
That's Jen.
He'd be Superman because Clark Kent. He looks better. He used to look a lot like Clark Kent. Yeah.
You can't have that one.
He loves the Sharks. He talks about the Sharks, talks about the players. He is fully committed. He loves them.
As much as we are passionate about a strong economy, it's actually why we're passionate about it that matters. That enables you to have the health services, the education services and all of the other things that flows. When our farmers are hit with calamity like they have been in North Queensland, being able to strengthen Australians, whether individually, in their communities, as a state, a country. That's what really focuses me. Jen's brother Gary was diagnosed with MS many years ago, and Gary was a fit, strong fireman raising 3 young boys at the time. And over years we just saw all the things that he loved in life so much he could no longer do them. And while he showed great grace in how he dealt with that, it's sort of a double hit, because it was not only that he couldn't do it, he couldn't do it with his boys. And today he's very limited with his mobility. But he taught his sons an amazing lesson, and me an amazing lesson, about the character and the strength of disabled Australians. They know stuff that we can't pretend to know. The reason I support the NDIS, and I know it's not perfect, is because what it's designed to do is for people like Gary who want to have a go and want just those supports and other things to help them have the life they want to have. It enables them to do it. It's not compensation, it's not welfare, it's about enabling people with disabilities to live the life they want to live despite their disability.
The Liberal and National parties believe that the strength of our economy is rooted in the hard work and effort and enterprise and aspiration and the champion in every single Australian. And over the last 5 years, they've been supported by a government that has been backing them in. Keeping our economy strong is how we secure your future. We have a plan to make Australia stronger. Australians will have the opportunity to back that plan as we're backing them.
Authorised by S. Morrison, Liberal Party Canberra.